We'll give that a quick. Making the cake a bit early allows the, making the cake a bit, I find actually when I make the cake the night before, the next day it is a, Hey everyone, I'm Sav and this is Lagom Eats. Today we're making a cranberry white chocolate cake. We're starting off with a super moist vanilla cake studded with cranberries, icing it in this cream cheese white chocolate whipped cream frosting, and then we'll be topping it with some sparkling cranberries. This is the epitome of Christmas in cake form. Let's take a look at the ingredients. We're gonna need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sour cream, 4 cups total of sugar, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 12 ounces of white chocolate, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 3 eggs, 5 cups total of fresh cranberries, 3 cups total of butter, and 8 ounces of cream cheese. Let's get baking. Now this cake is delicious, but it does take a little bit of time. So I like to make the cake the night before because we have to start the sparkling cranberries the night before as well, so they have enough time to sit in our simple syrup. I find that when I make the cake the night before, the cake the next day is a lot more flavorful and even more moist. So we'll start out by putting 1.5 cups of room temperature butter into a stand mixer. We're gonna put 2 cups of granulated sugar in there as well. We're gonna go ahead and whip that until it is nice and creamy. All right, so butter is nice and creamed with our sugar. We're gonna add in our eggs. And we're gonna add in about 2 teaspoons of our vanilla extract. All right, and we'll blend that together. We're gonna add in 1 cup of our sour cream. Now, this sour cream is gonna make the cake super moist. All right, so we'll blend that together. Now we're gonna mix up our dry ingredients. So we're gonna use 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Make sure you use the spoon and level technique. Don't scoop it straight from the bag or your container. So spoon it up until the very top and then level it off with the back of your knife. If you scoop it out of the container, you're gonna get way more flour than needed. Your cake is going to be dry and not moist like what we're going for. Now we're gonna add in half a teaspoon of baking soda and then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then lastly, half a teaspoon of kosher salt. We'll give that a mix. All right, now we're going to pour in about half of our flour. We'll mix it up a bit, just until it's incorporated. Now we'll alternate, do about half the buttermilk. And now the other half of flour. Mix that in. And pour in the rest of your buttermilk. And mix that until just incorporated. Remember, don't overmix your batters. You'll build up that gluten and your cakes will be dense and dry. All right, now we're gonna stir in 3 cups of our fresh cranberries. Okay, so we've got 2 9-inch cake pans. You can use 3 8-inch if you'd like. We're going to evenly distribute this into both of them. I recommend using a kitchen scale so they are evenly distributed. Spread it out evenly. Now we're gonna bake these at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. We'll start by making our sparkling cranberry simple syrup. So we're gonna start by pouring a cup of water into the pot. We're gonna put a cup of sugar. All right, go ahead and turn on your stove to like medium. Now we're going to let that come up to a simmer and simmer it until all the sugar is dissolved. All right, so that simple syrup is done. We're gonna transfer it into a heat-resistant bowl and we'll let it cool for about 10 minutes. All right, so now we're gonna make our cranberry simple syrup for our cakes. So we'll pour in about half a cup of water and put in half a cup of sugar. And we have 2 cups of cranberries. We reserved a handful of cranberries and we're gonna put those in there as well. Turn on our stove to medium and we're gonna let it simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes. Our cranberry simple syrup is done. It's this now really nice pink color. We're going to put this in the fridge for use tomorrow. And then we've got our simple syrup. It's been cooling for a few minutes. We're gonna pour it over our cranberries. All right, so now we're gonna put this in the fridge as well and let it sit overnight. Our cakes came out of the oven and so we let them cool completely. That's why it's great to get all this done the night before because it does take a little bit of time to make. So last night I already pre-made some of our simple syrup to pour over our cranberries so we can go ahead and make them right away. All right, so you want to drain your cranberries, all that simple syrup off the cranberries. We've got a bowl of sugar. We're going to put them in there. And then you want to get your cranberries all coated in the sugar. All right, so we'll set these aside on a plate and you want to let them dry for at least an hour. All right, so like I said, I already prepped a lot for this video because the process is quite long, but this is what they should look like when they are done. So now we're ready to make our frosting. First thing we're gonna do is pour in 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and we're going to whip it to stiff peaks. All right. So now that it's reached stiff peaks, we are going to get another bowl and set it aside for now. All right, so now we're gonna whip together 1.5 cups of room temperature butter. We'll put in 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese as well. And then I already melted our 12 ounces of chocolate and then let it come to room temperature. So we're going to dump that in as well. All right, we're going to whip that up until it's nice and creamy. All right, now that it's nice and creamy, we're going to add our whipped cream a little bit at a time. We'll just mix it until it's incorporated. Add in a little more. Mix it up again. And we'll add in the rest. Mix that up. All right, now it's time to assemble our cakes. So we're going to just spread a little bit of our frosting on a cake stand, just so our cake stays. Put 1 layer down. Now we're going to spread a little bit of our cranberry simple syrup all over our cake. And we will go ahead and put some more of our frosting, and I'll just get this frosted up. Put on our last layer. Unless you did the 3 8-inches, you'll have 1 more layer. Put on some more of our cranberry simple syrup. All right, so now I'm gonna finish frosting it. All right, our cake is done. It's ready to be sliced into. All right, let's try it. I mean, the cake is one of the most moist cakes I've ever had in my entire life. It's a little bit tangy from the cranberries and tangy from that cream cheese. With the white chocolate brings in that sweetness and the creaminess from the whipped cream. It's the perfect balance. This cake just screams Christmas to me. It's delicious and it's the perfect centerpiece for your Christmas dessert table. I hope you guys enjoyed my white chocolate cranberry cake. The full recipe can be found on my food blog at logomeats.com. I've got new delicious dishes coming out every week, so hit a like and subscribe below. I'll see you guys next time. Hey-do.